Hey guys and girls, Poketing King here, back with another Flesh and Blood video. So it's been almost a week now since I've made any Flesh and Blood content, and I've made any other YouTube content since the podcast. So we are keeping with the podcast every week now when we can, and we've got a lot of guests lined up now until the end of September, so that's great. But I took a little bit of time from making some Flesh and Blood content so I could kind of step back a little bit and kind of assess what my plans were going forward. Obviously, I've set up Wraith Tavern Cards, which is my online store. I sold out of pre-orders from Dusk Till Dawn. That went really great. I've just spent a lot of time sorting out the website as well as private selling in terms of like TCGs as well. Work's been so busy and trying to set the business up. So took a little bit of time away from content creation, but we're back now and we should be back on our normal schedule of 2 to 3 videos a week, 2 of them being Flesh and Blood when we can. So we are in the week of release for Dusk Till Dawn now. So as of recording this is the middle of the week, so we're just a couple of days away now. Stores will be starting to get their stock. We had the pre-releases over the weekend and a lot of the cards have started to being shown as actually pulled by people. So I know we had the spoiler at week and 2, and that went really great. The hype around the set is absolutely massive. I'm really excited to Dusk Till Dawn. I'll be opening up a couple of cases myself, and I'll be listing some of the singles on the store, as well as generally trying to trade. I've started recently playing Blitz again with one of my friends, Scooter Monkey Collectibles, aka Matt. So he's been joining this journey with me about getting back into Flesh and Blood. So I played a couple of months during 2021, and I played Blitz for a couple of months down my LGS. And unfortunately, the card store that I was going to actually is closed since. There is another card store in my city, but it's a bit more competitive there. So it is generally classic constructed, and the skill level there is a lot higher. So I'll be playing a bit more Blitz with my friend. We've been doing it over Discord webcam, and eventually I'll get on Talishar and probably build a CC deck. That's kind of a little bit about what I've been doing over these past couple of weeks whilst kind of not making as much content. But Dusk Till Dawn looks really exciting. The angels look absolutely amazing. Obviously we had the Fabled spoiled as well. That looks really cool. Obviously it's a shame that we've got another light Fabled. I was kind of also looking for a scenery card rather than what we have, but the card looks amazing nonetheless, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not this card is going to be playable going forward. I know that's something that is talked about by players a lot, that they don't like that Fables are playable because they're generally very expensive. Obviously the rainbow foil versions are generally cheaper. I mean, you look at the blood of the Drakai, that's around £40 to £45. The same in dollars. That's a rainbow foil Fable, but it's not really played. That's probably why the value is so low. And then you look at the gems in the first couple of sets, they're very expensive, they're quite rare, and some of them have seen some play over the years. Probably the most notable Fabled used within the last couple of years was probably the Library of Solana. But obviously now that Prism, in Classic Constructed anyway, the old version of Prism, it reached LL, so that isn't able to be used. But we do have the new Prism, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. The format probably will change a little bit. So a lot of people are kind of dubbing this as Monarch 1.5. For me, I always knew that it was going to be that. It always seemed that. That's the way they advertised it. This trilogy of Monarch sets, it was always going to be very themed around there. I know some people were hoping there was going to be a bit more of a variance in terms of support for heroes than the ones they did, but it kind of makes sense that this is this is another Monarch set. So Monarch was a fantastic set, but so much happened with it on the release and the weeks after, and then the print runs coming out, that is kind of the set that people have a lot of emotional attachment towards, whether it's good or bad. But kind of, I feel like this Dusk Till Dawn and the next set that we get is a kind of an opportunity, a redemption arc for Monarch, the set. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens and how the meta changes going forward. They announced that they'll be doing draft of first edition booster boxes of Monarch, which I'm quite surprised with. Obviously, I know they announced they'd be doing unlimited boxes, but they are going to be doing some with first edition. Some people have said that that's because the variance between the printings is a lot less different than the unlimited printings that had the Belgium and the Japanese print, and it could cause a big variance. depending on where they get their stock from. So this is probably generally boxes that have been in the vault for LSS. Obviously, we know that most companies keep product back for various reasons. It could have been product recalls, or it could have been just to have a little bit of a product back. So it'll be interesting to see if this affects the market at all. I know first edition Monarch boxes have kind of kept a pretty similar price, and cases within the UK and EU, from what I've seen, prices seem to be stabilised. They don't seem to be moving very often. Obviously, we had a bit of a rise when Dusk Till Dawn was first announced, and we got those first spoilers when they did that first presentation, which was, I believe, at Baltimore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, how this set changes, and kind of when the set releases, what people feel about the set in general. I'm very excited. I think the cards look really great. The Marvel Angels look absolutely fantastic. I'm currently trying to sort out a trade for one at the moment because they just look really great. The pull rates, from what I've seen so far, seem to be about 1 per case, which kind of makes sense. They're a little bit harder to pull than the extended art dragons from Uprising, for instance. So 1 per case seems quite fair. That is pretty much the same pull rates as we had before with legendaries. I know that with Fab 2.0 it kind of changed a little bit. So the set looks really strong. I'm very positive about it. I know that there are people that are kind of not excited about the set, which is absolutely fine. I think every set that Flesh and Blood release, there's a reason, and there's rhyme and reason for every set they release. With other card games, generally it can just be about getting a set out, or just getting an IP pushed out like Magic the Gathering do. Without the new IPs, they kind of feel like they're struggling quite a lot, honestly. But with this, with this new Flesh and Blood set, there's a reason for this, and I'm really excited to see what happens going forward. So please comment below if you're excited about the set. What are your thoughts of the set? Are you going to pick it up? Do you think that it will change the meta much? And are there cards already you've seen that you want to play with? So please comment, like, subscribe. As always, check out the Patreon. I'll be trying to get up as much content as that going forward. Be a little bit patient if you're already a patron on there. I'm trying to get a little bit more content on there. I just want to make sure that it's unique from the stuff that I'm posting up here on YouTube that everybody else gets to see. And if you want to pick up any singles for Dusk Till Dawn in the UK or EU, or just any sealed Flesh and Blood or Pokemon items, please check out the link in the description below for wraithtaverncards.co.uk. And thank you very much.